Hey folks, welcome back to the show. My name is Joy. And it sucks to even discuss this news, but we now know that Bobby Brown Jr., son of R&B singer Bobby Brown and Kim Ward, has passed away. According to CBS News, Bobby Brown Jr. was found dead at a Los Angeles home Wednesday, November 18th. He was 28 years old at the time. Now, Los Angeles police spokesperson, Officer Jeff Lee, said officers were responding to a medical emergency when they found Bobby Jr.'s body around 1:50 p.m. at a home in Encino. Brown Jr. was pronounced dead at the scene. Lee said police believe no foul play was involved and additional details on the death weren't immediately released. According to the Daily Mail, Anna Reed, 22, had been briefly dating the young musician, that's Bobby Brown Jr., who was following in his father's footsteps with his own singing career. We know Bobby Brown from the first grew up in the New England area, was in the group New Edition, then launched a solo career, music career, did some acting. On Wednesday night, Anna Reed, she tweeted, "The heavens gained an angel, but I lost my soulmate." Bobby Jr. is the second child R&B singer Bobby Brown has lost after the death of his daughter, who he had with ex-wife Whitney Houston, Bobby Christina, who was found unconscious in a bathtub in 2015 when she was only 22. Now, Bobby Christina ended up with irreversible brain damage. I remember her being in a coma. She didn't die right away, but she was in a coma for 4 months, and she eventually transferred to hospice care, and she later died at the age of 22. And the just sad part and crazy, eerie part about that is she was found in a bathtub full of water, just like her mother, Whitney Houston, was found. I believe at the Beverly Hills Hotel in a bathtub full of water. Now, at the time when Bobby Christina died, Bobby Brown Jr. took to Twitter at the time and said, "People, quote, people really don't give a fuck about you unless you're relevant, and they don't love you till you're famous or gone. I don't want these follows. This is real life for me. This is my life, my sister, not a fucking trending topic," end quote, he added. Now, Bobby Jr.'s mother, Kim Ward, dated Bobby Brown on and off for 11 years, is what I was reading. And that was before he got engaged to Whitney. And Bobby Jr. only has one full sibling named LaPrincia. But Bobby Brown, according to what I know, does have 7 kids. So Bobby Sr. has 3 younger children with his current wife, Alicia, whose son Cassius, who's 11, and daughters Bodie, who is 5, and then Hendrix, who is 4. And they're all Bobby Brown Jr.'s half siblings. And his full sibling is LaPrincia, I believe is her name. Of course, Bobby Christina, who I said passed away. And then an oldest half brother named Landon. So with both Bobby Christina, Whitney, we also know that Nick Gordon, who was Bobby Christina's adopted brother, and they ended up dating when they were both adults, but he also died in January 2020 of this year. And he was an adopted brother, which means he was an adopted son to Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown when him and Whitney were together. And I would assume afterwards. And then, of course, like I mentioned before, Whitney died also in February 2012. And that was from a combination of drowning and drug use. So lots of young lives lost in this family, and that's the overwhelming sentiment that I have seen online, is lots of people saying, another life lost at a very young age, only 28, and then, how much pain can one family endure with, again, you might expect old people to die, so that happens, but people just in the prime of their life, it's really unexpected. So in a statement obtained by E! News, Bobby Brown said, quote, "Please keep my family in your prayers at this time. Losing my son at this point in our lives has devastated my family. There are no words to explain that pain," end quote. And that's what I was saying. It's like, this is not the first time he has lost a child, but this the second child who, at this point, who knows the circumstances of the death. I don't even know if Bobby Christina's cause of death has ever really been, verified and believed by the Brown family, especially now that folks have said that drugs might have been involved with Bobby Christina's death. Article continues here. There's one from E! News. Is his lawyer, Bobby Brown's lawyer, Christopher Brown, explained that Bobby Brown Jr. was, quote, "not feeling well a couple of days before his death and had flu-like symptoms." Said, quote, "This is a tragic loss, and we will be let." Okay, that right in there. "We will let the authorities conduct their investigation of his death." End quote. He asked fans to respect the family's privacy, adding there will be no further comments. So Brown is saying, please respect the family's privacy. And in the days up to Bobby Brown Jr.'s death, Bobby Brown Jr. was reported to be not feeling well and having flu-like symptoms. Of course, I don't know the time span of how COVID can take a life, but I definitely know that COVID produces flu-like symptoms. So it could very well be COVID-19 related. What I have to say about this, it is absolutely tragic that this family is losing another young life. As I said, Whitney died before her time. Bobby Christina was lost before her time. Nick Gordon, who grew up in the same house as this family, who's like an adopted brother and son to Whitney and Bobby, he died before his time, and now Bobby Jr. has passed. And I hate to compare it to anything, but just seeing so much tragedy in this family, I can't help but think about the Kennedy curse that involved with the Kennedy family, the political family. And if you know your American history, then you know that, for decades on end, there has been eerie or unexplained deaths or just tragedies that has happened in this family all the way back into the 40s. And so the oldest brother, Joe Jr., died in World War II. Like, he had survived one tour, then I think he went back, and the second time his plane was shot down. This guy was supposed to be the president of the family. It was Joe Jr. who was supposed to be the John Kennedy, and then John Kennedy, of course, did become president. He was assassinated in Dallas. Then Robert Kennedy was killed on the campaign trail in California. Like, how many other families do you know, political, famous, or infamous, or not famous at all, who, not, again, old people passing away, but these deaths happen. And then I'm not even done with the Kennedy family, and so. Just the next year after Robert Kennedy was assassinated, Ted Kennedy was involved in the woman drowning in Chappaquiddick when he crashed his car off a bridge, and then John Jr. and Carolyn, his wife, died in a plane crash. I mean, it goes on and on. And the crazy part I find about this is both the Kennedys and Bobby Brown's family are from Massachusetts. They're from that area, as I mentioned before. So I might just explore that more. I don't really do ghosts or anything like that, but I do find this fascinating. That's the wrong word. It's an important part of history, and I'll just make the parallel to say the same thing that happened to the Kennedy family seems to be happening to the Brown Houston family. Anyway, I did not want to make this long, and it is not the point, of this video to speculate, but to deliver the news. And again, at this point, a cause of death has not been released. Bobby Sr. again said his son told him he wasn't feeling well in the days prior to Bobby Jr. passing away. But at this point, we just have to wait to see what the results say. And as Bobby Sr. said, respect the family's privacy. So at this point, I wish the whole family well. And I will be back with an update once we know more. But that's what I got. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, and subscribe to catch me when I release new videos, politics, celebrity news, gossip. I run the gamut. But all right, catch me next time, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.